I mean, the experience of listening to these extraordinary human beings talk to me about what they actually found important. I learned about the entire history of railroads into subways in Southern California in like one afternoon. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was all men. I didn't meet any women. It was all men. It was sort of a man's dorm kind of thing. But they had this ability to understand life from a point of view that I would never have understood what I was playing had I not had that experience. So Shonda was very right, and I was able to really feel how big the hearts were underneath the person that couldn't necessarily express the heart of it all. So the misinformation, particularly back then, the misunderstanding that people who have Asperger's and certain levels of autism don't have feelings. It's just the cruelest, most ridiculous idea. There's nobody on the planet that doesn't have feelings. It's how those feelings are able to be expressed through whatever the rest of our biochemistry is that is the issue. And in this case, expressing of feelings feels overwhelming to the point of it's frightening to an Asperger's person to feel what we might feel because it feels like it will engulf them. So it is the opposite of what the thought was at the time, which is that Asperger's people are cut off from their feelings. It was wrong. And that visit to UCLA was when I learned it. Because all I had to do was sit in a room with these guys and the feelings were gigantic. And they were funny and edgy and, their humor was, so that was a great opportunity, do you know what I mean? So when I went to play it, even though it was 3 episodes, bam, and we didn't really get to explore it much, I felt fortified to at least commit, to certain things. And that was because of Shonda.
Was it really only 3 episodes?
Yeah, it was only 3 episodes.
It's such a big character for 3 episodes.
What? And you know what? It would have been great if she could have stuck around longer, but I think they understood that she didn't really fit into Grey's Anatomy, did she? No. I mean, she wasn't going to be hanging out in the house, cooking dinner and drinking wine with kids, you know what I mean? So she needed her own show. But it was a privilege. I learned a lot. And it changes you, the question. Like, what do you learn when you're playing a character? And even for 3 episodes, she was able to shift my understanding and create a more informed level of compassion for these brilliant souls.
Thank you. I thought you did a fantastic job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yes. Hi.
Thank you for what you just said.
Oh, you're welcome.
My question is, in a few years from now, many years from now, when Major Crimes is over, and when you look back, what do you think is the most important memory that will come to mind first? It doesn't have to be a scene, just anything.
Currently, because we haven't shot season 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. Talk about a positive thinker. I have to say that last year's, it was either finale, I think it was the finale, when we all woke up on the floor after the blast, right? For anybody who hasn't seen it, I'm sorry, catch up. I don't worry about it anymore. As long as it's not a spoiler, you're going to hear it all from me, and I'm sorry. Okay. So when we all woke up on the floor, the murder room was, when I say covered in dust and falling apart and things hanging from the ceiling and smoke and everything, I'm not kidding. And unfortunately, right at the end of every season is pretty typical. Everyone gets sick. So we had this horrific bronchial nightmare devil that was traveling through us. And we were on the floor breathing dust and smoke, and it was cold, and we were tired, and it was episode 20, and all that you can imagine. So what was funny was we all literally started coughing. We all had to kind of pick ourselves up and cough and sort of go to see the people who were just so sick, and they'd say cut, and everybody'd be like, you know what I mean? It just went on and on. And then we were laughing about that, and then we were all kind of emotional too, because the murder room had just blown up, and we all almost died, and we're like, wow, TNT, really? I mean, you really don't want us anymore? You know what I mean? So there was like all of these funny things that happened during that, and that will always be a fun, very fun memory. I'm sure there's a million others, but whenever someone asks me what my favorite memory is, or what my favorite song is, or what my favorite food is, I go absolutely blank. I've been that way since I was a child. I've had a lot of therapy about it. It doesn't seem to be changing, but that memory will stay around.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, I don't know, maybe that would stand we're getting some signals from the side of the
Oh, am I just ignoring you completely, right? I'm sorry. And he's so cute, too. All right, this will be our last question. Go ahead, Lizzie.
So recently, Fox announced that you're going to guest star on Fargo.
Fargo, eh? Yeah.
I'm wondering how that came across on your plate and how long are you in there for?
Well, I can tell you how it came to me, but that's all I can say. I have signed my name in blood. As you know, Fargo is a very mysterious show, and it was a pleasure. It was offered to me. They asked me to come and join them. I can't tell you any more about it except for what you read, which is that I'm playing the Widow Goldfarb. And the Widow Goldfarb is the supposed queen of storage units in the Finger Lakes. Not the Finger Lakes, in the Great Lakes. And that's all I can tell you. You know what I mean? She was a lot of fun. And they were amazing. Let me just say this about Fargo as a show. The level of excellence was astonishing. He is such a great writer, Noah Hawley. He is like, unfortunately, I was able to read the whole season before I shot them, and I was so stunned by the beauty of the art in his writing. It's like reading a novel, and it was just really exciting. They were all great. The actors were fabulous. Ewan McGregor, okay, cute. I mean, really wonderful people all around.